Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nick. Welcome to this week's episode of the Friday Night Frenzy, where Wonder Bet's always canon, and the topics, well, they're more like a set of guidelines than actual rules. So speaking of Wonder Bet, let's bring in its greatest fan. We have Jared from Comics League.
Don't play with me, Nick. Now this is not the week right now.
See, Jared's actually really pissed right now. He's going to be spitting fire, but we'll get to that in a second. So, second off, let's kind of switch things up again, and let's bring up the person who I mock relentlessly, but to be honest, I could not do without. We have Chris. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Yes, I thought I should at least show you a bone at least a little once in a while. And then lastly, and certainly not least, we have the mistress of ships herself, Nyx. How are you doing, friend?
Doing good.
Cool. And so before we go live, I just wanted to give a little shout out to Mister who came in here like earlier today and like kind of left their thoughts, which I do appreciate. We will be getting into this. How's everyone doing though? What you guys been reading, playing, screwing?
I've been playing a lot of Doom Eternal, which I've been enjoying some good old fashioned rep and tear action right there.
Nice.
Dude.
And trust me, I've been needing some rep and tear action after this week.
So this is Jared every time he boots up the game.
This is where the fun begins.
So Nyx, Chris, what you guys been up to?
I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4. I've made it my mission to go and make the absolute best settlements that I absolutely can. Whole communities for the wasteland.
Just be careful. Nice. Yeah, a lot of Fallout love going around. I personally enjoyed the show. Apparently,
the creator of Fallout actually praised the show. By the way, I saw recently.
Well, he was heavily involved with the creation, so props from Discord. Hey, Geek Detective, always good to have a private eye in the midst. So yeah, I guess we'll just. All right. So yeah, let me just. I guess we'll have that be like a little mini headline. All right, but all right. So let's just go into headlines, shall we?
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
All right, buddy. Welcome to Headline Hysteria, where we go over some topics of the week, which may not be enough for a full episode, but we wanted to cover them anyway. So real quickly, I just kind of wanted to talk about. So everyone loves Fallout, at least the games, and there seems to be a lot big uptake. Apparently, Fallout 4 is having the big stuff. Chris, I just want to get that. Like, you weren't too big of a fan of the show, or you didn't watch much of it. Like, what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I liked Walton Goggins' character there, the ghoul. And, Lucy, and the rest of that could be, die in a trash fire. So
hey, that is your opinion, and I respect it, sir.
Yeah, I just don't like pro-communist propaganda, and I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but yeah, that's. You get to the end and they're like, it's for the people and capitalism is evil and every white man is either evil, stupid, or cowardly. I'm like, oh. So yeah, that's
yeah. Hey, fair enough. You're allowed to have a different opinion. I mean, Jared shipped Super Wonder and I still love on the stream, so. I'm really pushing his buttons. Nyx, what did you think of Fallout?
I haven't really watched it. I don't really have much interest in it.
All right, well, Nyx is on. I'm kidding.
Wow.
But my main settlement in Fallout 4, I have a whole army of death claws guarding the place, so
damn.
I'm happy about that.
Nyx, you can't F death claws.
No, they're there for protection.
Watch, that will be a mod that Nyx puts in the game.
So yeah, I'm mainly stalling time because Jared has like a fire of a rant. I want to get past the 10-minute mark before we do that. So speaking of magical times, going from Deathclaw to other things, What have I done? Why did I just do that? That was a bad segue. So apparently the president of Wizard of the Coast has stepped down. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, the wicked witch. Ding. It's like,
Is that the former Microsoft woman?
is that the one that said Wizard of the Coast is heavily under monetized?
Yes. If that's the same person, then yeah, that's a hallelujah moment.
Because like,
It wasn't
so
already?
you're yeah. It's like after ruining a company, like bringing it down, like fan engagement is at their lowest point.
Mhm.
Oh my god! You think they'd be show the door? Oh no!
That's everybody that ever worked in the gaming industry. That's how it always is. Like the parasites at the top that make these terrible decisions that cost everybody beneath them their job. They'll sail on golden parachutes to some other company and start their ruination all over again. And it sucks because it's like they never get held accountable for their actions. Like I was astounded to find out that the lead designer of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, which is arguably one of the better versions of Dungeons and Dragons, like after the dreadful 4th edition came out.
Yeah, 5th edition is a breath of fresh. Yeah, 5th edition.
Yeah.
I played it. It's I
Well,
have other, like, honestly, like, I'm kind of a first edition fanboy because that's what I played most extensively. But 5th edition is
because
good.
it came out in the Stone Age, right?
No, well, well, here's the thing: is like the lead designer of that. Okay, was it Merle's? I went to school with him. He lived across the street from me. Like I didn't even know this. I was across the street from like the big wig at Wizards of the Coast growing up as a kid. And 5th edition again is a huge fresh air. And then they punt his ass. Like, thanks for your hard work, kid. See ya.
Yeah. And to answer Geek Detective Pierce's question, I know from a fall perspective, Jonathan Nolan was a fan of the series, and I do feel like visually you can tell that Jonathan Nolan was a fan of Fallout because like they did cram in a lot of like really good visual references, especially ones where like there's a lot of people who's like, I read the Wikipedia, I'm an expert. No, there's a lot of like visual stuff where you can't just do it by reading the Wikipedia. You actually have to be fans of the game for Fallout.
Or Nick, you could pull the Hollywood like Last of Us and just intentionally not read anything.
Ugh.
Too many questions.
That's
the
bad things, Nick.
God dang it! I had a great line and you ruined it. Yeah, and then so yeah, I was and then let's kind of talk about the other kind of like this is probably the big one of the moment. So I guess Custodes like snatched now.
Wait. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this is what happens, man. Mainstream a hobby and ruin it.
yeah, I was hoping to have like a big Warhammer fan on here, but it was a bit of a too sudden, you know, like too close to the thing. So I should have planned that out better. But yeah. So apparently they made a slight rule change to where Custodes this is kind of a double layer thing where they change the rule book and then they say, oh, but they've always been allowed to be female, even though they've never mentioned it.
No, there's a reason why you have the Sisters of Battle for like female Space Marines or so.
Yeah, for
Factions serve a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Dave, we got a wild Dave the Impaler. The House always wins. Yeah, Mr. House does always win, except when you have a yes man in your ranks.
Or if you're Tom King.
Oh, just you guys wait. Oh, we're past the 10-minute mark. I'm officially delayed long enough. I can
let the expletives fly.
No. But let's finish out this topic. Then I will unleash Jared. I will uncollar him. All right. So yeah, it's like it would have been bad if they would have if they made the rule change. But the fact that they try to gaslight, it's like gasoline on an already burning flame. It's like, you thought it was bad. Whoosh!
Well, I remember when they were trying to make the Space Marines all women or whatever, like a few years back, and people are like, no, that's, and then it's like, oh, well, now we'll do it to this, or we'll do it to this. Like, you realize there are almost entirely like matriarchal factions in Warhammer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear like a little bit of a 4chan conspiracy post where apparently this change was kind of forced on King Workshop by Amazon. Like, apparently Henry Cavill is not really, because you got to remember, he plays whatever. He plays that faction. That's his army, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of the reason why. And without Henry Cavill, this project is dead in the water. There's no way this is happening without him.
It's dead, dude. Like, this is The Witcher all over again.
And it was kind of funny. They just announced that The Witcher is ending.
Yeah.
Well, after season, I mean, they're doing 2 more seasons, so like, I don't know how much of a celebration this is.
But isn't it kind of funny where after Henry Cavill leaves, that's when they happen to go, okay, we're gonna end the show soon.
Yeah. I mean, we all knew that was going to happen anyway. Let's all be honest. So as far as my first tabletop game, it was probably Dungeons and Dragons. I would say.
Yeah. 2.5 for
Warhammer. Me. Mine was Warhammer.
Oh wow.
So Jared, as the person with the most Warhammer knowledge, what is your insight onto this?
That this is stupid because they literally gave you a faction that's all female. Mm-hmm. You have the Sisters of Battle that are just as respected as the Space Marines. You know why this is? Why they call for female Space Marines? Because Space Marine, Warhammer 40K has many different factions, but the Space Marines are the face of the brand.
Yep.
It's Master Chief with Halo.
Ideological conquest, dude. It's you can't have your thing. We got to conquer it.
By the way, Immortal Rising. How you doing, buddy? By the way, do you want to come on? Because we're going to be mentioning you here in about 30 minutes when we talk about the ego in comics when we get to a certain July.
The ego on Immortal Rising. My God.
Yeah. Trust me, we will bring up your moment. So if you want to come in here and talk about it, we will be dropping your name.
And how about the ego of a certain old man podcast host?
Actually, if you want to talk about ego, let's talk about a certain
Tom King.
All right.
Let's get ready to rumble.
And then he's like, all right. So,
okay.
Jared,
this literally happened today, mind you.
Oh, God.
So I have been trying to be optimistic about Tom King's Wonder Woman run. I started to slip a little bit when he revisited Wonder Woman in the contest and had her punch her mother in the face. And I'm like, whichever mommy trauma you're trying to work through with my characters, with my favorite female character, stop it.
Stop. It's time to stop.
And yeah, a lot of the stuff was heavy-handed. But this is egregious and, in my mind, despicable. Actually, no. There was a previous one. He did a really tone-deaf thing. Where the Sovereign, the main villain, manipulated a veteran into offing himself.
What?
And then this happens, where he's mocking Christianity, recreating the Passion of the Christ, except having the Sovereign pour wine on Wonder Woman's head. Then he's quoting, he's basically linking the Bible to misogyny. And I'm like, screw you, dude.
Wow.
I'm like, there's a line that even Tom King shouldn't cross. Thank you. There's a line. Here's the thing. With Tom King, there are no lines. He just bulldozes through them because he likes to use these characters as his own personal therapy. And it is stupid as hell.
Yeah, what kind of story is this?
stupidest thing in the. By the way, not only that, so she's wrapped up in a lasso of lies, and then when you go into her dream, it's like she's a 1950s housewife with Steve Trevor talking down to her, telling her to basically shut up and like know her place.
Wow.
Jared, at least you're getting some
Oh my
support.
God.
Remember, buddy,
Thank you.
you're not alone.
Because here's the thing, I used to, I have defended him in the past with like the Batman stuff because to a certain degree he wrote up to a certain point he wrote good Batman, but this is straight up offensive. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I cannot defend you anymore. And the very fact that you are included in the Superman writing staff after this really concerns me.
So if Tom King was here right now, what would you say to him?
I know
Let's
we were
bring 'em
trying
on.
to bait me to say. Actually, what I would just say is get your issues done in therapy and not be using not using DC. Really appreciate that.
Man,
And
Jared,
stop-
tell us how you really feel.
Stop linking the Bible to misogyny. That is
Wow.
stupid.
Tell us how you really feel, buddy.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to swear because I actually have principles, unlike Tom King.
Damn.
All right. I'm gonna bear the sword for Jared. I'm gonna bear the sword for Jared. Fuck you, Tom King. Fuck you. There, I did it for you.
Because let me put it this way. Again, I like to see the good in people. That could be the Superman fan in me. But when I see this, no, I'm sorry. And Chris, I love how you were talking about like cultural imperialism and all that stuff because that's what this is. That's what this is. You're using Wonder Woman as a mouthpiece for your own BS.
Yep.
Dude, just go to therapy like everyone else.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
Well, that and it's like
Or-
you basically took somebody else's property and ruined it for your own personal like. Yeah.
And before you say, "Oh, Wonder Woman's always been about like gender issues," yeah, but to a certain degree, they didn't point fingers at the Bible.
Yeah.
The villain is quoting the Bible at this point.
So this is what Jared wants to say to Tom King.
Fuck off, Rod.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, Wonder Woman was one of the holy trinity of superheroes back in the day.
She's part of the Trinity.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what's kind of funny? That whole Trinity concept only Cryos.
Okay, we got a hater. We got a hater.
I don't care. You know what? I'm a Snyder
Hi,
fan.
hater.
Like, I'm a Snyder fan who ships Super Wonder. I'm used to getting hate. So at this point, I don't care. That's not changing my opinion because you know what? This is stupid. And you know what? At this point, I have never called for this before. But by the way, this book is not selling well either. So DC has no reason to keep this BS going.
So
No.
we don't like this comic, so please don't buy this book.
Yeah. Don't. Like put it this way: if you don't like to see, if there were any, yeah, exactly. Imagine that.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
notice how they always dump on Christianity because
Yeah.
like it's an easy target. Like you know what I mean? It's like you want to be brave. Let's see you draw a picture of Muhammad. Come on, I dare you, double dog you. You know,
Yeah,
come on. Like they're
And
pussies.
Discord-
dude.
Yeah.
Remember what happened to that newspaper in France? They
Yeah,
actually-
exactly.
Yep.
and Discordia, dude. No,
Oh, we have a friendly mod in
thank
the
you,
chat.
Nix.
So, Nix, what's your opinion on the whole Tom King shenanigans?
I think this is absolutely egregious.
Mhm.
100%. This is a betrayal of the characters, the betrayal of the fans.
Betrayal!
At this
This
point,
is deliberately spitting in the face of the creator, the original creator of Wonder Woman. And not only that, but all the very talented, hardworking people who came after him to make her the icon that she is.
yeah, he is
Yeah.
a despicable individual for doing this. Despicable.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
honestly,
that sucks.
I am considering dropping this book right now. I am
Jared, you
actually
should.
considering that.
Vote with your wallet, brother. Vote with your wallet.
Mhm.
Doesn't that
So-
suck though, dude? Everybody, we have to stop enjoying things because they come in and ruin it. And it's like, I enjoyed this before. I'm not
Well-
the variable that's the problem.
You see, buddy. This is the price of ego. I'm sorry, you guys gave me the perfect segue. This was like
yeah,
the perfect
I know. And here's the thing. I read Wonder Woman regularly. Half of my collection is Wonder Woman comics. So it's not like this is my first time reading Wonder Woman.
segue. So now we're into our main topic here. We're going to be talking more, shifting our gears to indie comics. And we're going to be talking about like certain creators like Ethan McSkyver, Eric July, bit of Razor Fist. I sent you Immortal. I sent you I've long since Twitter DMs. The invite's in your Twitter DM, so feel free to join us, Immortal. We have an invincible character coming to our show.
What's up?
So anyway, before we go into this, I'm just going to say this is not an attack on any of them. We actually like a lot of these people. In fact, some people might have actually bought
I'm an EVS fan. I'm an EVS fan in terms of his art because, for one thing, ignoring Cyberfrog, I read Green Lantern.
Jared, can you show us some of the stuff? So
for EVS, I got Cyberfrog 2 or Wrecked Planet. I have like also part 1, so it's I'm trying to collect that.
All right, Immortal Rising is joining the battle.
Immortal Rising.
Hey,
What up?
Hey. All right, so we're just trying to say like, oh, we're totally not attacking these people. You know, we actually buy their stuff. You know, we're kind of just doing that whole disclaimer because I actually do like some of the stuff about these people. It's just the way they're going about their business is, I think, is really being detrimental to indie comics as a whole. So I guess we'll just go creator by creator and kind of say like what we think are some of the issues with, and I guess we'll just start with Eric July here. Immortal, can you kind of like tell us your encounter with Eric and what happened? The person who it actually happened to.
Sure. Give me a second. I just kind of got into my dungeon here, so I need a second. But, yeah. So I don't know. I was on Twitter after a show, and I saw somebody I consider an online friend, B.A. Turner. He was getting shared by Eric July. I was like, "What's that about?" So I looked at it, and Eric July was basically like holding him up as a as a sacrifice or whatever, as an example, put it that way, as an example to his followers of, somebody who's like shit talking or whatever it was. And so I looked into what he was claiming that he said, I followed it back. And what it was just some follower of July's got into it with BA about something. BA, I don't know, said something that was misconstrued and kind of taken as, oh, well, you're attacking Eric July. The dude tagged Eric July. Eric July grabbed all of that and then shared it. And so anyway, I went through all this and I'm like, but B.A. Turner didn't make that claim. Like, in no way is he making the claim that Eric July is saying that he made. So I said something, just kind of off the cuff. I was like, whatever, dude. I don't follow Eric July. I've known about him for probably a decade, being around the libertarian, anarcho-capitalist kind of stuff that I have been in the past. And I was never really cared for him, I don't know. Maybe there's some reasons there that I don't want to get into, but I don't know. I just never really
some
cared
reasons that are like, oh yeah, I'm justified in how I feel now.
Well, obviously he's driven by ego. So, he seems like upper middle class kid who wasn't told no very often. But anyways, that's that I'm not a psychologist. So anyways, yeah. And then so I made a comment. I was like, dude, on top of, hey, I want you to show me where he said that. And then I listed some shit that I've seen floating around about him. He's like, he doesn't contribute to, the indie scene. I can't say community because that is a loaded word now, right? So or sphere. I think everybody's saying sphere as a replacement for community. And so in the indie sphere, he hasn't done much at all. He promotes himself. He promotes other people and all this other shit. Yeah, the ones that are almost nearly directly, connected to him. Sure, you're right, he does. But all of us out here and the sphere in general, no, he's not like, hey guys, and neither is the FNT crew. There's a whole nother bunch of fucking losers I could go into too. But the point is that that dude is like, it triggered his ego so bad that he spent, I don't know, a couple of hours going back and forth with me and it wasn't, like, I don't know. I like debate, so it wasn't that, that much of a challenge. Like, I know he's successful, but that IQ does not equate to success. And so, anyways, we go back and forth for forever, and the guy is just pure sophistry. Like, you can't tag him down for a straight answer for nothing. I'm just like, show me where he said that, what you said he said, and then I was like, you don't do this and that. And he spent more time trying to argue against the accusations that I made, and totally just would not admit that he was wrong.
Well, you know how these people act.
Observably wrong. Like,
well, you know how these people act. Like, he's like, literally watch any like deposition for Congress. Like, watch like senators try and like talk to someone from the FDA. You could not get a straight answer on these people. The senators are like, yes or no. Well, on the 4th of July, I had burgers.
Yeah,
like, you can't get a
total
straight
deflection,
answer.
red herrings, moving goalposts, all the fallacies, dude. And it got more tiring. And I think that's kind of his thing, is like, he will tire you down with nonsense until you either just give up or make a fool of yourself. Well, I'm pretty structured in argument and debate and stuff like that. So I wasn't worried about losing my shit. Even though I think I'd spent 3 hours streaming with that asshole over there in the corner. And anyways,
we all have that moment, and we all have that moment, Aaron.
Yeah, Chris really is an asshole, but a very intelligent one. Like, around.
Wait, you're talking about
the upper corner. He means the upper corner, old man.
Go back to creating your amazing comics, brother.
Why, thank you.
So anyways,
talking to you.
I don't know. I just that really sucks, because he's been idolized by his whole fandom. Like I keep seeing his fans, and not all of them. There's plenty that don't engage at all and don't want to be involved in the drama and shit. But there are plenty who do, and mostly it's just kind of like they spend so much time defending him because they've idolized him. Which isn't uncommon. Online personalities. I keep seeing this word parasocial everywhere. So with their parasocial relationships with the new black friend that they've always wanted.
That's a very loaded statement you just made.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, it's ridiculous. But I don't want to like get your.
I have I like Eric July's comments. I'm totally not blah blah blah.
It's just. I mean, these guys will argue, regardless of they'll just turn context around. They'll completely ignore what it doesn't help them. It's such a quagmire and a waste that it's not really worth engaging in.
Personally, my position on Eric stuff is I respect his success. Like, you cannot deny the guy has had massive success with his books.
His ability to enthrall people with his like motivational speech. He's like a Downs guy who's really good at motivational speech, and I think that like grabs people, and it really kind of like it makes them like I don't know,
brutal.
They're like, we're all gonna succeed with him. We're all gonna see. I don't know if you've ever seen inspirational con men like that, but it's out there. I don't know. Is he conning people? No, he's giving them products that they bought and all that shit. But it's the words.
Can you lift up one of your products?
What's that?
Jared, one of your because Jared also, your iSoms.
There we go. Yeah, and
like,
nothing wrong with that.
He's giving people.
I appreciate good comics. That's it. And if I enjoy it, fine. I don't like what he says all the time, but it's more like, okay, I'm supporting the medium and not necessarily Eric July.
Right. Jared, you have something to announce?
For the first time in my history of collecting comics, I have dropped a comic. Tom King Wonder Woman. I'm done. You mock Christianity. I'm sorry. I'm not supporting you anymore.
That's wow, dude. As a non-Christian, I respect that.
This is coming from someone who A, was a fan of Tom King, B, reads Wonder Woman regularly, and C, doesn't like to admit when something is horrible. I'm not abiding by that.
Wow.
That's big. So I think Dave pretty much sums up my entire thesis for the stream. He says, I'm a fan of Ethan Van Sciver's art, but his behavior is ridiculous. He's destroying his brand. Yeah, and that's a problem with a lot of these creators, where you can like their stuff. Jared clearly likes ISOP,
Yeah.
You know, like these people, they like their stuff, but they're the way they're attacking. And then David Palis, because the amount of attack and slam Eric July is ridiculous. Yeah, it's just a thing, and we're kind of still in the Eric July section of this video. It's like you have both support and like the antis and the fours. The pros and the antis are in such equal measure. It's wild when it comes to Eric July. It's and the thing that really kind of pushes me towards like tentatively supporting Eric, the people like the ripoff verse are they do some really stupid stuff like showing up to his office, taking a picture with his father's grave. Like you can not like Eric July, but at the same time I feel you can agree it's a little bit too far.
Yeah, I think going to the graveyard was pretty weird. I happen to find a lot of those guys really funny, but like constant attacks, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a reason that they're doing it, and
It's YouTube.
I think, I mean, you could say, well, it's. I think a lot of it's like drama farming, sure, and at the same time, here is somebody who's bringing in, who I've seen people say is damaging the indie scene, right? Because like he's bringing in a product that is not exactly up to very good standards, while promising a lot of stuff like replacing Marvel in DC or whatever it is. I don't know. And it's just kind of ridiculous. So a lot of that stuff, and I don't know how many books of yours has been bought because Eric July came in around. You know, I don't know, but I bet it's not as much as you hoped it would be. You know. Like it's not exactly like he's out here helping me and you and Chris over there. Like I don't know why even be around. I mean, he could sell any kind of merch. Why get into the indie scene, indie comic scene? Is what I've seen people say.
Yeah, I think Dave kind of hits the nail on the head here. Like he says, Eric July really gets under the skin of jealous angle fighters who believe he doesn't deserve success and want that. Like I don't know. No. I've seen it myself. No, I've seen it myself.
No, that's a go-to. Everybody's like, oh, well, you're just jealous. You're not as successful. You're just jealous. Not always. That's really not always.
I disagree, though. I disagree. Because I personally talked to people in the indie scene who have literally come out and said that. Like, I've talked to people who just want you to fund their comic on their site. You know, that's a little jab there. Who have come out and said, I don't like Eric July because he hasn't earned his keep. Like I've had like comic
doesn't mean that's jealousy though. People throw that word around way too easy when they're in this, you know.
I think jealousy is a bit loaded word. I will agree, but there is a bit of envy. I think
it's resentment,
envy. Like it's like these people have been working for like 5 years to get to where they want to be. And all of a sudden, Eric July comes out and does $1 million campaign, beating the likes of Ethan Van Sciver, literally everyone else. All of a sudden, Eric July is king of the mountain. It comes out of nowhere.
Fine,
there's going to be envy. There's going to be resentment.
A lot of people also see it as it's YouTube merch. You know, like how much, you know, envy and jealousy. If you are really in this, like if you are, say, 30-year veteran of making comic books, his ego is large. You know, EVS's ego is large, and he is self-admitted narcissist and shit. But like, not everybody is all that jealous of him. It's more like, okay, here comes a whale coming through, and we're caught in his wake. You know, I've heard somebody describe it as, you know, when these assholes are fighting, it's like, you know, the kaijus and we're the grass. You know,
yeah.
That's not that
I
far
agree,
from
but that's not to say it still doesn't exist. I do think it's also like I'm not saying it's like the main motivation.
I can't speak for everybody, but I see that word jealousy thrown around so fast and so loose. It's like it's jealousy, and then now there's no conversation anymore. It's like,
I don't want to hand wave. I don't want to hand wave it. Okay,
you win, jealousy.
Yeah, I don't want to hand wave it and say they're all just jealous. At the same time, I don't want to brush aside real things that I've witnessed myself.
Sure. Like I said, I can't speak for everybody. So.
Yeah, I think Dave has got the stuff here, but yeah. So I think we've kind of exhausted the July portion. Let's move to August. But
I mean, you can keep kicking the dog. It's all right. Apparently, that gets a lot of views anymore for some reason.
Well, yeah, and I think that's kind of why there's so much dogging on both Eric or Ethan. Is it gets views, it gets clicks. I mean, drama. I mean, look at the stuff with Keemstar. I've invoked the devil's name, but whatever. Like look at the drama side of YouTube. Be glad you don't.
Yeah,
like the drama side of YouTube. Like there's an entire community, like the commentary community. You'd be like, oh, so and so did this. Oh, blah blah blah. Drama gets clicks. That is a fact of life.
Yeah, especially on YouTube. I mean, like, this is entertainment for a lot of people. Like for some of us in it may seem very stressful, but for a lot of people who aren't even never get in chats, never say anything, never, it's popcorn eating season. Like they're like, oh, this is great. For instance, I really like a good roast, and I've seen some damn good roasts out of this from all over the place. So from a comedic value, this has been really funny. Now,
yeah, it's just my thing is
tired of it. Yeah, I think people are getting tired of it. So I agree.
Yeah, my position is I was never really a big fan of the drama, and I'm here to make cool comics and talk to cool people. I'm doing the second part right now,
and it's settled for us.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta slum it sometimes.
Yeah,
but
you must be. I mean, you're talking to a guy stuck in a dungeon. You know what I mean?
I mean, I put you there, so it's all good.
There's one point that I kind of want to bring up because I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine about the whole CG thing, and the problem about CG is that it started off good. It started off okay, well intentioned. The problem is when you have all this drama that starts, and then they start attacking anyone who disagrees with them. You have then destroyed the brand of CG because now if you have CG in anything, no one will pay attention to you because of that. Even if you have a good point, even if you have a good comic.
Yeah, you guys must be new to
that's
CG.
That's why I stepped away from CG a couple years ago. That's why
I've been around
away.
CG off, for like a few years now. Like ever since I've really been trying to get into any comics. I've heard that practically since day one. And it's the end of CG. Oh, the drama's driven everybody apart. It's not going to go. But the problem with that idea is that meanwhile, the same people will understand Iron Age, right? Oh, it's a movement, or whatever. But they don't understand that, I'm the leader of CG. Anyone who claims CG is a leader of CG. Like,
well, no.
Somebody has it trademarked.
Ethan Van Sciver would have some words for you, which is kind of a good segue because and we're talking about CG. We have to bring up the man who literally owns a trademark, the self-proclaimed king of CG, Ethan Van Sciver. So that is a problem with CG. Is it's become very insular, become very like I've tried like. I did try to kind of like become a part of CG a few years ago, and I don't know if I pushed myself out or I got turned off or I got like owned away. Pick your drama, but I don't know. It's just the problem with CG is it's not outside, it's inside. That's
every group. Like the Iron Age. Good luck surviving for long. Good luck for surviving for long. All it takes is one click to not like you. One click with reach, and you're toast. So that's true for any of these online groups,
Yeah, I mean, Iron Age is pretty new. I think Iron Age is kind of still in its honeymoon.
It's still forming. Yeah,
it's still in its honeymoon phase. It's still in its honeymoon phase
and everything. I know. I've been pushing Iron Age. I don't know, fucking me and Chris have
been
hashtagging Iron Age for at least a year. It's almost since it came out. Probably since it did come out.
Interesting thing I will the kind of a little bit a tertiary thing. Interesting about Iron Age is there are kind of distinct sides of it. Like you got the book end of Iron Age, which is almost kind of the completely kind of bubble for the comic side, which is
well, that's what started, right? That Iron Age started around book novel guys and indie novel guys, and then later it came into the comic book guys started coming in. Which, I feel had a little something to do with that, considering we constantly pushed Iron Age and had people on the show promoting Iron, so did that help? Maybe. I don't know. I'm pretty small.
My problem with Iron Age, and I've seen this, and I called this out from the very beginning, Iron Age on the comic side it basically comes across as CG light. Like they like also the whole like Iron Age isn't a thing or a movement, yet they act like a community. Like I think Iron Age has a problem where it doesn't know what it wants to be, and and that's kind of where CG shines is CG knows exactly what it is, and it has had the time to form what it wants to be.
Sure. Well, yeah, and it's specifically based around comics. So, and has been for years, many years.
Dave, that's
the
an
original guys.
Wait.
I think have all dropped out of it. So, what's that?
Dave, that is an Ethan Van Sciver talking point, and I do not agree with that because if you're trying to make this whole indie thing like a tree. See, that's the problem. People are trying to like how many times you see like Iron Age Comicsgate, like they do both hashtags, like they're trying to make it one and the same, when they're not. Yeah. So Dave, This is one of the few times where I will disagree with you. You're just spouting the Ethan Van Sciver talking point because he's literally.
It's not the entire indie art movement. I don't know why people say that. So. Mm-hmm.
I think it's because.
Wait a minute. What's that say? Iron Age is not a thing. The ages are given to. Oh yeah, right. Well.
I mean, if you're talking in a pure historical context, I could see what you're saying because, like, you got the Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age.
And I like the argument that I've heard before that if like your enemies aren't using your term, then it's not a real thing, right? Like if people not in your sphere, people who are not trying to get something from Iron Age, either as a consumer or as a creator, what does that mean to the world at large? So you're telling me that some indie, oil painter who decided to go out on their own because they didn't like what was being made, with corporate art, he's Iron Age. He doesn't have an idea what Iron Age is. I mean, I guess the only one who would be able to say that is somebody in 10 years or something, right? Or whatever. See,
the problem with trying to put everything under the Iron Age umbrella is you become so broad, the term itself becomes meaningless. Like, okay, if Iron Age represents all art, all indie art, then what's even the point of calling it Iron Age? It's indie art.
Well, it's like you were just saying, anybody associated with CG or Comicsgate, people who are not involved with Comicsgate or probably even comics really at all, will be like, that's those assholes, they're all Nazis and homophobes or whatever the terms are anymore. And so they already know, like it's already been around. It's already has a reputation. It's already, it's established.
Yeah.
In fact, people are even trying to act against it, which is why, allegedly that's why Ethan Van Sciver decided to copyright it or trademark it or whatever the term is. So
yeah. See, the thing is, when I first started hearing about Iron Age, I thought it was just a CG rebranding. Because I've long since thought that CG has needed a rebranding because like the CG name
they do.
A lot of us early guys were hashtag Comicsgate, hashtag Iron Age on all the posts practically.
You still see it. You still see
that. Yeah, I could totally understand. Well, yeah, now it's much more common, but there for about a year it wasn't at all. Oh, nice.
But yeah,
Chris.
But
let's celebrate Chris's backer.
Thanks, man.
Congrats.
Yeah, if you made it this far, please make sure to like, comment on the video, and also Chris, can you kind of fill in some air while I grab a link?
Sure. I don't know what to say about this because I don't really.
Just talk about like how you feel about like all this stuff.
I have a thing I can say.
What's that?
No, you can't talk about Super Wonder.
Better to burn out than to fade away.
I was just gonna say, don't support Tom King.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
That's all I was gonna say.
All right. So
I've heard he's a pretty shitty writer.
If you don't like the mainstream, one book to check out is Turn Samurai #4 on pre-launch on Indiegogo. Link is in the comments below. So if you want cool comics, buy Chris's book first, and then buy mine next.
Well, thank you.
And then it's also the first 2 issues are available in trade on Barnes & Noble. But that's enough of a commercial here. I just squeezed that one in. But yeah, so what do you guys think is the problem with Ethan? Like we've kind of like we've danced around a little bit. Like, what do you think is because like. And Ethan, if you're hearing this, feel free to come on the stream and talk about this. We'd love to talk about you. Well, we are talking about it. We'd love to talk to you. Jared, what do you think?
I'm not gonna go too far on it. I just I can't break down his personality necessarily. I mean, he's a self-admitted narcissist. He obviously likes to shit stir. I think that he's experienced enough to not sweat a lot of the small shit, which I think is part of the charm and hilarity. Because watching so many people just melt down and completely take things out of context or whatever it is really fucking funny. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm like a big, huge fan of EVS or anything like that. Like, I don't know the guy. I don't buy any of his stuff, but he's good at rhetoric. Put it that way. Whether or not you think he is, there's some very good rhetoric that comes out of him. At least in his roasting. So.
Yeah.
What's that?
And this is a problem I've had with a lot of CG people. CG is very insular, and like you can't criticize it. Like I'm just going to cover.
My sketchbook is right. There's so many people on the fence, and that's fine. I don't care if people are on the fence, off fence, on which side. I don't really care either way. All this shit's going to disappear before long, anyways. But a lot of people don't want to say anything, don't want to speak out. You know, people sent me messages after that little back and forth when Eric July kind of, in my opinion, wouldn't let shit go. You know, like,
I did. I literally did.
Why would you fight back and forth with a nobody like me or BA? BA has like 2,000 followers on Twitter. Dude, you've got 180 kajillion followers. Like, why would we even matter to anybody like that?
It's because of the ego. It's because of the ego. Ego is ruined.
No,
you know, ego overrides all parts of the brain.
But you know, in these kind of, you know, in this sphere, that's like blood in the water for some people. So it's like, oh, he has a weakness and an obvious one. Oops. You know?
Yeah, and these people, and a lot of these people, the Dick Mastersons, the Vitos of the world, it's content to them. That's all this is content.
Yes,
it's not about changing things, and I just can't abide it. Like I'm here to like talk to cool people and make cool comics. I just say that ad nauseum. Like, and this is content for me as well. But like, it's just my primary is the comic. Like, I don't know how much I can say that.
I agree. I don't mind the back and forth and stuff. I think between the fans gets the worst, man. Holy crap, do they really get into it? People
have equated indie comics to wrestling, and it's
I
accurate, and I don't like it. I don't like how the wrestlification, you know, you got your heels, you got your baby faces, you got your angles, you got your shoots, you know. Oh, look at Ethan. He cut a wicked promo.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the thing is, my sketchbook, the same can be said of Ethan Van Sciver, because you remember, he comes out of the mainstream. Like, he worked with Jeff Johns. He worked with all these people. I'm not saying Ethan is a former SJW, but you gotta realize he worked with these people closely for 10 years. And you don't work with these people as closely as you do without a little bit of it rubbing off on you.
Oh, man, I need some rubbing off. No, nothing. That's fine. You know what? I'll use these at another stream. It's fine. What is it? Ego is also required to do greater things. Yes. Double-edged sword, perhaps. Eric July hasn't engaged in several months, though. So that's irrelevant.
Like,
I don't know.
I think there's kind of like, you got 3 stages to ego. Okay. You have the first stage is confidence. Confidence is great. Have as much confidence as you want. Jared, I give you confidence. I give everyone confidence. The problem is
Tom King loses confidence.
Every time he takes a shower.
Looks in the mirror.
When someone comes over to F's wife.
Yeah, he sits in his little stool in the closet and looks out through the.
He sits in the cuck chair at the hotel.
Yep.
But then you got arrogance. Arrogance is a little bit dangerous, but in some cases it's fine. But too much arrogance leads to narcissism. All right.
Let's not forget the fragile ego aspect, but yeah. Perhaps it's a part of like a narcissistic personality as well, right? Like they wouldn't be so controlling if they weren't so fragile. And
that's the problem is narcissism gets thrown around so loosely that it kind of devalues like narcissism is not a good thing for anyone, including what we perceive as the guy with the big ego, because narcissism, if you get to the textbook like clinical definition of it, narcissistic personality disorder. And sadly, I have experience dealing with people with this, but it's where they lose their own sense of self, and the only way that they can ever get any kind of exterior sense of self is through external validation, meaning that they view people as a constant means of validating their existence. Everything is about praise and must, because they have no inner sense of their own worth. It's actually a very tragic existence.
Well, but also, like it was said, I can't remember who said in the comment, like about like the ego part is like even that, like needing that kind of validation from others, that can propel people to greater things. So
yeah, and then
you've got the good and bad, right? The facts of life.
Ego can be important, because in order to succeed in this space, it's just like dating. Okay, how can you expect others to love you when you first don't love yourself? Like that's the thing. It's as true in dating as it is in comics or any big endeavor where you need to push yourself forward. You need to love yourself, love your product. Okay, I'm awesome. My comics are awesome, and you guys think that too, and that's freaking awesome.
Well, I mean, love yourself can just be false confidence too. Like you're creating a persona of confidence to go out there and get the emotional reward of other people validating you.
That's where fake it till you make it comes in, because I've
heard like so many. That's like a whole salesman trope, right? It's like he's overconfident just to get out there and people are impressed by his overconfidence. I told you that in confidence.
Sorry, that was just too good of a joke. I had to share.
That's a good one. It's a dad
true
joke.
Confidence, though, is when you present your product and people say your product sucks, and you're okay with that because they're not saying
stand by it.
Yeah, it's not me.
Yeah. Okay, so say the reality is the project does suck. Okay, well, it's a learning experience. I can go on to the next one. It doesn't mean
I've gotten bad reviews of Screecher. Where they literally tear it the frick apart, and you know what?
Yeah,
I learned from it. I learned from those.
People have no taste in comics, Nick.
Yeah, I mean,
well, thank you, sir.
I've same here. I've had people not like my work. That's fine. But I mean, you take notes taken. But here's like 5 other people who did enjoy it. So like
exactly.
I don't let that one really hang on me. It's like they're not going to wait.
We're all going to get bad reviews. It's a price. It's a price you pay.
Yeah, you're asking somebody for money.
Art.
Yeah,
like art is very subjective, of course, right? And so like not everybody's going to like my shit, whereas like some other people might really like my shit. So, and by shit I mean my work and my art.
I mean, I don't know what you're into, sir.
Whoa, yeah, I'm not into German scat stuff. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ugh, no cups, no girls. Forget it. Out of it.
McDonald's
it's like let's like for example, let's put myself on display here. All right, so I just pulled up the Amazon reviews for Turn Ceremony number 1. Okay, and there's some here. All right, let's do
5 stars.
Let's do some self-flagellations right here. I'm gonna read
5 stars.
Oh shit!
All right,
they're not confirmed. Are they confirmed purchases?
Not sure. So this is my first, the Kindle edition. All right, so here we go. The idea of a samurai in a cyberpunk world has great potential, and I did enjoy reading the first issue of Screecher by the same author. The arc in this book is horizontal for some reason. In order to read it, I had to turn on screen rotation and hold my phone horizontally. No other comic I've read on Kindle required that. If that was the only issue, my rating would be slightly higher. However, after reading it, either the pages are out of order or the story is incoherently nonlinear that would confuse even Tarantino. I'm thinking it's the former. That is a fair review. Okay, that's a person who give honest fair criticism. Now let's look at this one. The plot was quite weak. Characters dull as toast. The arc was horrendous. Do not buy.
Yeah, that's not even a confirmed purchase though. There's supposed to be like, isn't there like in brownish red text that says like confirmed purchase on? Like I don't see any of those. On mine, it actually has like a, it almost feels like disregard if you don't see a confirmed purchase. Otherwise, they're just. Somebody has a bone to pick with you. Will just say, "Hey,
it could just be like a troll,
I'll
But
go
it does-
in there
it
and
does
start
affect it,
posting
right?
a bunch of Screecher hate, saying the writer's a senior.
There it is. See, it said the top one said verified purchase. See it right under, right above the body text.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, verified purchase.
Oh, okay. I see this. The second one also has that. So it is there, but the ones
I love how this is like an infamous reviewer. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, anytime I don't see a verified purchase, it's like take it with a grain of salt, because as a consumer, like when I'm trying to, like when I was shopping around for 3D printers, I noticed a lot of Chinese bots in these replies or whatever, or they're like reviews, and it's like 5-star, greatest thing ever, and I'm like, yeah, that's not a real person. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't even say confirmed purchase.
They
Like,
make it very obvious that they're not real people too.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, like I get bad reviews, you know.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you had to know that when you first started getting into this, when you first started creating this, you had to know there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to like what I do. I mean, I knew that when I was like, I'm going to put this out there. And, you know, it's just what you got to do. You either have the drive, the passion, and the want to do it, or you don't. So,
Or it's like, even as a YouTuber, I mean, when you put your opinions out there, you're gonna get hate, like I did.
Yeah.
Like I did when I published video after video talking about what a useless character Lois Lane is.
Yeah. But there is truth to this.
Oh yes, there is truth to Lois Lane sucking. I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, her best moment came at the beginning of Gods Among Us there, or the
what was that?
in
That was the
Injustice.
storyline where Lois Lane dies and that turns her into a dictator. I made a joke where I actually created a new ship called Zois where she belongs with General Zod. And the funny part is on Reddit,
Lois Lane and Zod.
yeah, no, here's the funny part. This is how crazy. I don't think I ever told even Chris this. So a buddy of mine was sharing a bunch of my stuff on Reddit. And then I'm checking through the comments. I see someone said, I saw a Super Wonder shipper saying that Lois belongs with General Zod. So I'm like, oh God, it's spreading.
What have you done? What have you done, sir?
You rabble router.
I started a movement.
What have you done?
Yep.
Oh, duh.
It is the funny part about how I basically gotten the anti-Lois portion of the internet to come out now.
Yeah.
Yes, we are the vocal minority. No,
Shit, I haven't read a Superman comic in a while. What does Lois even do? I mean,
Well, there was one
nothing
where
anymore, right?
There was one where she. Well, no. There was one where where she got to use.
We are the future, Charles, not them. They no longer matter.
There was one comic where her son was fighting the Eradicator, but was getting his ass kicked. So she used Batman's technology to fight and defeat the Eradicator.
Oh no! Oh no!
Dave's did. Oh,
Dave's going to impale my comic. I should be scared.
You heard what you said about Eric, and now he's going to review your stuff.
Oh no!
It's gonna be a
the
box.
review will just be a picture.
-5.
Nick, the review will just be a picture of 2100 Samurai with a samurai sword through it.
No. This
dildo
so I actually went back in the future, and this is Dave's review.
Crap, mega crap.
That's my review of Tom King's Wonder Woman.
Nice.
Well, among other words, but yes.
It's gonna be my first 0 out of 0.
Oh wow!
Oh, your God,
man!
Wow!
Womp womp.
You should ping him on Twitter if you're not already blocked.
I don't want to do that because I don't believe in harassing people, but oh, trust me.
I sense a YouTube. I sense a very impassioned YouTube shortcoming.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea. You know what? I will do that. Oh boy.
Oh, Black Reaper agrees with you.
No, I just find it very mean-spirited when
he's not even talented. He's not even at this point. He's not even talented.
Maybe he's talented at being a hack.
He's talented at using other people's characters as his own therapy. That's what he's doing.
All right, so to answer Mercenary's question, so
Razor
basically,
Fist gets it now. Sorry,
Razor is into fisting. no,
Yeah.
no. That's gonna be clipped, and I'm gonna pay for that later. But anyway, so basically,
Maybe get
this
you
whole
some clicks.
stream, this whole stream was spurred on by when I saw an Ethan Van Sciver clip where he had did that puppet show with Razor on it, and it just it kind of pissed me off, to be honest. Like that kind of petty and immature stuff. Like, come on, dude, where's Cyberfrog?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
promote
know,
your
but see,
comic.
that's-
That takes 3 years to come out, by the way.
all right, that's fine. I understand. I am a fan of Razor Fist as well. I listen to his audio. I've followed him for over a decade, off and on. So I get it. But I'm sorry, but that was funny. I found it very funny. It doesn't have to be true, but it's pretty funny because it does highlight a lot of the a lot of what appears to be people trying to glom onto Eric July because he has millions of dollars.
I mean, it's not like people have been doing that with Ethan for years. So my problem is this is a pot calling the kettle black. Ethan is just as everything
rip off first, but yes. It wasn't Ethan himself, it was the other dude.
He platformed it. That's the problem. He endorsed it. Also, Jared,
he also apologized and said he liked Razor Fist and all that stuff. So I mean, it's not like he was actively.
He apologized after he made his bad manga tweet, which we're gonna talk about that.
I don't know about that one.
But Jared, do you have some final words before you go eat food?
Oh, Jared.
Well, I have to go eat because I have a live stream later on, but I'll be back. But it's like my final words is, well, I'm definitely not buying a Tom King comic anymore. And be sure to show up to Comics League when we watch a live react to Rebel Moon. The old man will be there as well. But see
First
you guys.
Rebel Moon or two?
Two.
Okay.
Oh, that's out?
Yeah, it came out today.
Oh God!
And in fact, if you guys are still live when I get done eating, I'll come back. But
see the reason they called it, they're calling it the Scargiver, is because the first movie was so upsetting to the Snyder haters that it gave them scars.
Well, let me put it to this way:
wounded.
Tom King
emotional damage.
Tom King.
All right.
Wishes he were as talented as Zack Snyder. So see you later.
Chris,
the fact that Tom King is involved in the storytelling of the DC movies is very concerning.
Damn.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll see you guys later.
Have a good one, man.
See you, man.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Common America's killing it, and I think kind of talk about because Eve hates Common America because they're the one people challenging his throne. Because look at a Common America largely stays out of the drama and they just do their stuff. Like they're doing really well.
I don't know. I mean, I hear that stuff, and I feel like I'm constantly trying to defend EVS, but I'm not. I hear people say that, but does he ever take shots at Common America? I haven't seen.
He does on Twitter a lot, and also I feel like his anime manga take where he did the stupid manga and animes for pedos, like that kind of that's literally a 20-year-old out-of-date anime take, which, by the way, Matt Wallace made that same statement. He equally got flack for it.
Ugh, I can't stand Matt Wallace, but yeah.
I can't either. Sorry, Nick, you're going to say?
I said they're both very stupid for that take.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little personally attacked here.
Yeah.
So, Chris, on behalf of all Asians, would you like to defend your race?
Oh my God!
Whoa.
I mean, technically, he's a subverted Asian because he has Jewish in him as well. So
yeah, but I'm Korean, so it would be Manghwa, not Manga.
All right. So, a little interjection. Sorry. Is that when I went to technical school, it was 100 years ago, right? Nobody really knew what manga was, and there was one dude who looks an awful lot like this guy right here, only a bigger beard. He was a huge manga lover, and he hated it if you said manga. He would constantly correct you. It's manga. It was a running joke. It was very funny. Sorry, continue.
Real quick, Mercenary, Godspeed. I hope everything works out with criminal court. And I don't know. I know enough about you to know that you are the victim. I wish you all the best of luck, sir. Godspeed and good luck.
Yeah, good luck, man. Godspeed.
5K. Shit.
Speed.
But yeah, it's just like, okay, I'm just tired of like all the stupid anime takes, like, and just like the stuff with Matt Wallace, where it's like he dogged video games for like 10, 20 years. Then all of a sudden, once the Gamergate 2 pops up, he hopped on the algorithm. He's like, oh yeah, no one's ever talked about like problems in gaming before. Also, gaming still sucks.
Right. Yeah, only
My problem with Matt Walsh is Matt Walsh says stupid thing. People get mad at Walsh for saying stupid thing. And it was like, oh, Matt's just trolling. They try to make that claim. And then Matt Walsh just silently either just never talks about it again. Like, he says the stupid stuff. He knows he's saying stupid stuff. But Matt Walsh is a grifter. Matt Walsh is a grifter. Matt Walsh is a grifter. There's your clip for you.
Well,
dude's never been invited to a party. He's never been invited to a party where there wasn't wine. I guarantee.
But everybody, like we have this weird, like,
yeah, exactly.
As a collective society, we have this bizarre way of putting people on pedestals and deifying them. When it's like, people can have good takes and bad takes. Celebrate the good takes and laugh at the bad takes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yes.
It's not like the person, like, because the what is a woman thing? Yeah, that's a true. Like, I was like, hey, man, brother, like, you're exposing some freaky shit there. You know?
See, that's the problem is, and here's the reverse of that. Every time I dog Matt Wallace, he'd be like, but he did what to the woman? He did this thing. He did this one-hit wonder thing that we like, so everything he says is good. How can you dare criticize Matt Wallace? Like, that's my problem.
I'm saying the opposite.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying that when somebody has a good take, you say it's a good take. And when someone has a shit take, you say it's a shit take. But you don't deify these people. Like, we're constantly like, oh, this person says a lot of shit that I agree with, so they're good. Well, this person says a lot of shit that I disagree with, so they're terrible. It's like, just because you disagree with somebody,
it's that polarization bullshit.
Yeah.
People can't think for themselves half the time. They're immediately emotionally invested in people like Matt Walsh or these, what is it, parasocial or whatever relationship.
Like, I'm just saying the problem with all these hashtags and groups is that every flock has a shepherd. Okay, that's human nature, and I'm not a sheep. Like, I'll go where, like, I got friends in every, like, I got friends that love BBS.
I get it.
I got friends that hate him. I personally, I don't have an opinion on the guy. I like his books. Like, that's all I can say. I don't watch the drama. I don't like, to me personally, mean-spirited picking fights and all that shit. You do you, boo. Like, if that's making you money, good on you, man. But for me, that's not my bag. And it's the same thing with Derek Jones. Like, I've watched him and all that stuff. I got his book, but when he starts like shit talking or whatever, like, I'm like, yep, you're over here, buddy. Like, I'm gonna stay over here. Like,
like I like Razorfist. I consider myself a fan of his. Do I agree with some of the stuff he says? No, some of the stuff he says I vehemently disagree with.
Same here.
I would never engage him in criticism because he's probably like 3 times smarter than me. He can basically demolish me in an argument, which is why I would never engage him. Because
he wouldn't engage with you anyways. But
but not only that, but
let's say I was big enough. Let's say I was big enough. We were on a stream. We had to debate. Razorfist would demolish me, and I feel you
ran into him at like a con, and you guys are sitting next to each other.
The problem,
you're like,
though,
time you said
we don't have debates, though, dude. We have never had a fucking debate. I'm sorry, we've never had a debate on any of these YouTube things or whatever. It's always been just fights. Like, a debate is when you are arguing for a side and you are wrong, and you're like, okay, yeah, I admit that, or you've defeated, quote unquote, their argument. You didn't defeat them.
Yeah,
and we have this personal vendetta against people for disagreeing.
Guy from Daily Wire demolishes first-year college student facts and logic. Like, you notice how Ben Shapiro, he always goes to the colleges. Like, the people, like, these people are fucking idiots. And he's like, oh, I'm so smart. I can out-debate college students. We've been saying that for years.
We've been saying that for years. So, yeah, like, come on, dude. Ben Shapiro is just doing it for or the Charlie Kirk guy. Same fucking thing. I mean, those guys, all those guys that work for the Israeli Wire. come on.
Yeah, like Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire, Destiny. Whenever these people
Israeli
actually
Wire.
Ben Shapiro, Destiny, like these people who consider themselves intellectuals, whenever they debate real intellectuals, they get demolished. Like, have you seen some of these videos like Destiny where you like debate?
They fight, they don't debate. That's the point. Like, they're not
the
there
point
to
of
prove
debate
a point. They're there to prove they're right.
Yeah, well, because nobody understands the point of a debate is to come to the truth.
Yep,
right.
Exactly.
Two sides have to agree on what is true, and
I disagree.
People.
My problem is
no. That's really the
that's literally what
people like Ben Shapiro and Destiny. They use rhetoric to fight. Okay,
right. That's sophistry. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's
but when they
instead of debating.
Yes, and the thing is, when they go up against an actual intellectual who actually has they actually get demolished by facts and logic. Or no, that's not actually how it works. And they start quoting statistics off their head. They don't know how to respond because they're like, okay, straw man, fallacies. Just go through the Rolodex, and once all the weapons are exhausted, and they have to fight on the facts, they can't.
Yeah.
The only person I've ever seen, and this is going to sound really weird, that has ever even come close to a debate was Jordan Peterson. That's the only time I've ever seen somebody interested in the truth. He's like, well, according to this, or whatever his Kermit the Frog voice is. But he tries to argue a point. He's not saying you're a far left, like that's how you know.
No, use his voice. Use the Peterson.
Do
voice.
It again. Do it again.
From the top.
No, but when you see these people get into these things and they're like, they start throwing the personal attacks, what they call the ad hominems or whatever. It's not a debate anymore. It's like just close up shop. It's done. Like, this is just two people dick measuring or something online.
It's like you see it on Twitter all the time. It's like you've won a debate, or just a cockfight on Twitter is when they start busting out personal attacks. Like you really think I don't know how many times people insult my hair. Like, do you really think I'm doing this because I wear this hair because I'm ashamed of it? Like, why do people keep coming after my hair? Like, you need a haircut. Like, I'm purposely wearing my hair like this. Like,
I mean, that's your image, okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, it's okay to throw, in the midst of a back and forth. I think it's okay to, occasionally slip something in there. But a lot of people.
But when it becomes your entire argument is a problem. When it becomes your entire argument,
if that's all you're doing, and generally I don't I'm not going to do that unless somebody does that first. But it does happen, So like some people will lead off on that. But
internet blood sports, online debates,
someone
for
who's
entertainment,
practiced, that kind of shit is a weakness, and you can draw it out of them even more later. Of an emo fan.
Okay. Sketchbook. I actually get that because
you got the corn chip.
Yeah,
they used to call that the corn chip back in the 90s.
So, Sketchbook, you're not wrong. I actually get that comment all the time, and thank you, sir. It's like I follow the Tyrion Lannister principle where he said, "So you're a bastard. Wear it like armor, and then no one can use it against you." Like that's my philosophy.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
I just as somebody that's always like repeatedly wrong on things. Okay, I don't mind it when they're like, when I'm proven wrong or whatever. I'll make an assertion and somebody's like actually, I was on I was on Master Swag Kings yesterday, okay? And we were talking about the Star Wars thing. And I had brought up the thing about how Disney wasn't able to even recoup the amount of money that they invested in the purchase of Lucasfilm for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and he's like, no. It's actually this. And he goes through and he's talking about how they didn't actually spend a whole bunch of upfront capital when they bought Lucasfilm. They actually traded in shares essentially. So
sure,
there isn't this massive financial deficit that happened with the acquisition of Lucasfilm and then the subsequent failure of films related to the amount of money they gave to George Lucas. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me,
yeah.
But if you go online, people are like, no, you're blah blah blah. Oh yeah,
well, so many people.
I just want to say this.
Imagine money is just in giant bags. They don't understand that money.
You know what it is?
Can be.
It's a giant Scrooge McDuck money vault. Okay, George Lucas, here it is. We put a bunch of gold coins. We printed Star Wars on them. There's your payment. Would you like your Would you like your Boba Fett bathing suit?
I like the idea that like
the Speedo.
you can be wrong, and there's no offense taken, there's no offense given. Like there's no malice in that. There was no like. He's like, actually, no. Like what you read was shit. Like this is what actually happened, and I was like, oh wow, that's
like okay.
Yeah,
I'll put that into my thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah, and the next time, the next time I say that, I won't be like, well, blah blah blah, because it's like I'm regurgitating what I've seen
guys,
from a news source. Like,
real quick, I need to do this. MSK says, "I am a man."
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets.
Oh,
sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. I had to do it. Please
never apologize. Never apologize for playing.
Damn.
What the fuck?
Someone's a power bottom.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. He's like diapers.
Oh my god.
I do want to say one thing though, the Matt Walsh thing before it goes too far away from him. That fucker, like, he only came out with "What Is a Woman" years after it was already a thing. Like, for instance, I like him or hate him, Owen Benjamin was a comedian who calling out the trans shit in Hollywood and got completely deplatformed for that and probably a couple of other things, like not caring about the N-word, right? And so not giving it power. And so but it was the trans thing that he lost his Twitter, right? He lost his agents. He got kicked off of like things like PayPal and shit. And then only like 4 or 5 years later, when it was obvious and safe, then people like the Israeli Wire started talking out against it. So
the Israeli Wire, I like how you get slipped.
Not wrong.
It's completely true. I watched it happen. So
yeah, and that's a problem.
Where that guy.
Yeah, that's a problem. We're kind of seeing this happen more and more, where the issues are like, for example, during the we're gonna go political here, during the 2020 election, like lots of people were calling out Joseph Biden for his obvious cognitive deficiencies, and it was all like, oh no, he's a picture of health, and now it's kind of become an open secret. We're like, we all know.
They don't care. I work with guys that are, dyed in the wool Democrat. They watch MSNBC, probably like some people watch, evangelicals in the morning. And, it's kind of like, I'm here listening to them talk about all their politics and their political view. And like, it's just, they just regurgitate what they're told on the talking box.
To be fair, a lot of people on the right
idea of something called the Smith-Mundt Act. They have no idea what that is. They don't know that they've been purposely fed lies and propaganda lawfully for the past, I don't know, since 2012. Most people don't know that. And so they don't know that they have to actually go and find better sources than cable news. Like, that's a man.
Well, wasn't there like a lawsuit with Fox News and they labeled themselves as entertainment? And that's how places like Fox News, MSNBC can get away publishing the stuff they do because they're not actually news, they're entertainment.
Look it up.
No,
Smith-Mundt Act.
Smith-Mundt Act. How about this one? People are all about, Ronald Reagan being a great president and everything,
Oh, don't get me started.
He's the one that overturned. So after the Red Scare with McCarthyism and stuff, there was this, I can't remember the name of the bill, like what Aaron was saying, but they pushed a bill through that basically said that any news organization that is presenting the news cannot present it in an editorialized or biased fashion. They literally need to present the news and present the news only. They cannot push their own opinion or their own propaganda. Well, Reagan overturned that, and suddenly we get CNN, suddenly we get MSNBC, and we get all this garbage that is just government propaganda. Like, it's all state-run media. Everything you watch on TV is being run by a corporate state.
Well, I don't think it was like right away, because like CNN didn't appear till like at the very least the late 80s.
Yeah, when Reagan was in office.
No, Bush was
in 80s.
Okay.
Bush Senior was 88 to 92.
I just looked it up and I am wrong. June 1st, 1980 is when CNN launched.
Yeah, it was right after Carter got ousted. Yeah,
Smith-Mundt. It's MUNDT.
Actually, no. Carter was a president when CNN launched because Reagan took office January 20th, 1981, so like
Yeah.
a full year later.
But I don't think it was.
Sorry.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't think it was the existence so much as the propaganda slant, because the 24-hour news cycle cannot exist. Like, I think they launched it with a good intention of getting 24-hour news, and then they're like, shit, we need to fill this with content. We're running out of telling the same story 10 times in a day.
I mean, you gotta realize Ted Turner is the one who launched CNN originally. Like, it was part of the Turner Broadcasting Network.
Yeah, it's
old
all
Ted Turner.
Yeah, I colorized the moon, but
Oh my gosh, dude. So, I don't know how many of you guys remember, he colorized all those old MGM and shit,
Yep.
all those old classic black and whites.
Yeah.
Mainly not to keep them restored, but just so that he could repackage and license them.
Yep.
Like millions of dollars worth, right? That's fine. I mean, I don't think it was necessary, but he did it, right? What else? Captain Planet with the environmentalist horse
Oh
shit.
God.
Toxic waste is going to rain from the sky and all this other shit. Total horse shit. I mean,
Don't have more than 2 kids. That was an episode. That was 2 episodes, actually, I think.
Yo, that was Malthusian bullshit. Yeah, the whole idea that we're overpopulating the planet and all this stuff.
he's one of those guys.
Our generation, the Gen Xers, were the first to get spoon-fed that garbage, and that's when the population decline started. And we're now reaching that pinnacle now, or that absolute nadir, where we are seeing population, especially with a certain jab, of people dying out faster than they reproduce. We are going to see major countries just disappear in our lifetime.
Like Ted Turner has 3 kids, so he doesn't get to talk about overpopulating and
exactly.
Like, you want to talk about
rich,
population?
So.
Japan is getting to the point where they're talking about importing immigrants, and I'm sure you've seen like the ones that hit the refugees they've had, how disruptive they've been.
Oh, it's garbage, dude. It's so heartbreaking because I lived in Tokyo for a year and I had nothing but positive experience. Like, I felt safe there. It's one of the world's most populous cities. It's also one of the cleanest.
White passing man in Tokyo, I'm sure.
Well, okay, that was one of my biggest.
Oh, you're 6'3". Please hurt me with your peenie.
No, I'm.
Right,
I'm 6 feet, but like that myth that the Japanese are all short is like all of the. I don't know if it's the growth hormones in our diet that was exported over there. I don't know, but I was not exceptionally tall around the Japanese. Like, most of the Japanese people there were either my height or like just a little shorter.
Wow.
So yeah, I didn't, at being 6 feet, I expected to tower over most people, and I clearly was not.
No.
Oh, you only 6 feet? Oh, you tiny man.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I look at my nephew's generation. He's a Zoomer, and these people are giants, dude. Like, he graduated. He was in this private school, and I call it Hogwarts. It's up here in New Hampshire, and it's all these rich, spoiled kids. And I think he's 6'1", and he's one of the shortest kids in the class.
Fuck yeah, good for him.
No, dude, that's scary when you're like this. They're like, oh yeah, these are basketball players or whatever. They're here on scholarship. I'm like, it's high school. Like, they're like under 18. This is what the hell is going on? Kids like,
well, I mean, as a height supremacist, I think that's great.
How much do you want to bet in like 10 years we're gonna be like, don't talk to me unless you're above 6'4"? Like, the standards are gonna like we're gonna have heightflation. By the way, I just coined the term heightflation.
I mean, anybody under 5'6", any male under 5'6" is questionable in their motives, in my opinion, at being someone who is over 6 foot. So I get it, bit of a height supremacist myself.
See, my problem is I'm like right on the bleeding edge. I'm 5'11". So like I'm 6 foot passing. I'm 6 foot passing.
I won't put my hand on my wallet if you're standing next to me. Put it that way.
Oh, how nice of you.
My sketchbook says that it says the average height of the man is 5'7". Yeah, I didn't see that, dude, because like they say the average height of an American man is 5'9".
Sorry,
we'll go in Nick's. But yeah, they say the average height of an American man is 5'9", and that's clearly not the case. Or maybe they're like factoring in all the illegals that are like 3 feet tall, but like
3 feet.
Those
are children. You're saying children.
Yeah,
I mean, let's not forget with all this, like the declining birth rates. Consider the mouse experiments, right? The mouse utopias.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're kind of running that right now. I mean, in America. So, not only that, it's not just like in Western white countries or something. It is global. Like everybody is
South
having
Korea
less
is
children.
the worst. South Korea
They're
right
all
now
like,
is they won the race.
I've seen, so like they say, you know, you got to have like 1.8 or something like that, 1.9 kids or something, and
Replacement.
it's like across the world is like 1.3, 1.2, you know, 1.4. So people are not, they're not making enough people. I mean, I don't like the guy, but Elon Musk brought it up. You know?
Yeah,
And the stats on it is scary,
dude. Well, here's the thing: is like we're all talking about Japan as being like, you know, the help, like the main example of like population collapse. Well, sadly, they're not even the worst off.
China.
Like below them is Italy, and nobody talks about that. Greece has just been discovered that more than double the number of people are dying than being born in the year.
Well, to be fair, the EU wrecked the Greece's economy, so that's also a big factor.
And finally, South Korea, they hold the championship right now. They're gone. Like we will
Greece's
not
greed
South Korea.
ruined Greece. Their love of the IMF loans ruined Greece.
Well, no, Greece ruined itself in the fact that they had a retirement age at like 50, and like you're basically you're subsidized by taxes after the age of 50.
But Europe is so much better. It's so much better. Europe, everyone's happy. It's so pretty. It's a socialist paradise in Europe.
Yeah, our food is so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave nailed it, man. Shinzo Abe was was whatever, I don't know. Yeah, and it was because he was defying the jib jab stuff, and he was defying, basically he's trying to get people to reproduce. He's like,
too much of a nationalist.
Yeah,
let's just say what it was.
Is a good thing.
Too much of a nationalist.
Nationalism has been like vilified. That like that's how you know the globalists,
of course,
control everything, because they're like
liberal global agenda won after World War II, and we're seeing it, you know, clean up now.
Yeah,
especially since the 90s when the NAFTA and globalism really started taking hold. Yeah.
How well do you think your country's going to do when the ruler of the country isn't even in your country and they don't have your best interests? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right.
Okay. All right. Let's get racist. No, I'm just kidding.
Racist powers activate.
I can still hear you, assholes.
Oh.
No peeing in the background.
No, like I say that I say this as a Jew as well. Like, you know, they're like, oh, you know, blah blah blah. No, nationalism is a good thing. It is a very good thing because it means you are rooting for your home team. You know, and in all honesty, if you're not rooting for the home team, get the frick out of the stadium. And you should be like, if you've ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs,
USA.
Yes, I fully support jingoism, dude. There is I know it sounds like like everything we've been told about how, you know, destructive jingoism is, or like the flag waving fascists and all that stuff. You do realize that is all designed to demoralize us into not having in-group preference.
So what do you think about this this comment? I think it's a pretty pointed one.
I still think Japan had every right.
Except for honestly, Japan? I don't know. Why not?
No, Japan
Japan in World War II.
The reason why Japan became why they basically did the whole Pearl Harbor thing is because the Americans were economically starving them. They had a blockade around the whole freaking archipelago.
And all right, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, the Japanese did some really heinous war crimes that would make.
Oh my God, did they? Yeah,
that's
but
true.
Everybody,
they did stuff that would make the German painter blush.
But all right, so just consider this: once they went out of their nation, they were no longer nationalist.
Correct.
And consider that for the German painter as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, how about what Candace Owens just
take a minute to chew that back a little bit because of all the shit we've been. Just consider that for a second. Once you go outside of your nation's borders, are you nationalist anymore?
Yeah. Well, did you see? So Candace Owens had posted the thing about the what happened after the cleanup of World War II to the Germans.
Oh yeah, nobody ever considers that. Nobody ever, you know, they laugh at Dresden. They shouldn't have done it. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, you mean how the Russians basically R-worded every woman from Moscow to Berlin?
Yeah,
Well,
or
and
anybody that
starved
spoke
everybody.
German got exterminated.
Yep, shot in the back, yeah, or the head, or whatever. Yeah. Mhm. No, we
Nobody
can't talk
talks
about
about-
that. They got
because
what they deserved.
Yeah, it's the big bad evil.
Who do you
Dude,
think we were really fighting? Like,
I had a German girlfriend, dude, and it was the strangest thing how apologetic that like this is like a browbeaten generation of people that are made to feel ashamed.
Generations.
Right. Yeah, and it was like you didn't do it. You don't espouse those beliefs. You know, it was like this weird thing, like, oh, kind of ironic. You got a German girlfriend.
Also, what's really interesting is trying
German
like,
girlfriend.
but if you try to make the Japanese or try to apologize for the comfort women, they refuse to. Like they've issued a national apology for World War II as recently as the 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're still trying to get them to apologize for all the really bad stuff.
Oh,
you know, like they go to they take over Vietnam, they take the woman, like, oh, you're gonna be a comfort woman.
They did that to Korea.
Yeah,
Sure. I mean, come on, dude. That's just modern shit.
Well, that's
what do you think the rest of humanity's history has been like?
Exactly.
At least they're like sorry. Like, do you think that's ever happened in the history of
Dude,
mankind?
it doesn't make it right.
The United States
Right.
drops 2 nuclear bombs on a country, and they're
They
like,
just fucking lit a cigar. Fuck them. They deserve
To
it.
be fair, there is a justification for the bomb. Like, the line is like it would have like the cost of life for U.S. soldiers to invade. Like, I do kind of feel like the bombs were a necessary thing.
that's the thing.
I
Is,
disagree.
like,
But
I have Japanese friends that I've argued with this about, and we're not getting the whole truth, dude. Like what we were told about, like, so Japan was already on a collapse. Like the whole land invasion of the Allied forces into the archipelago of Japan was the final phase. Okay,
they firebomb the shit out of Japan.
Dave, what do you mean by about to?
About to become a Pole Street. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be Steve Highland around here in a second. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
dude,
no.
Don't say that word.
No, but like
of course not. I'm just joking.
they expressed, they were originally told, like their original plans were to use it as a power demonstration on like non-populated areas or something to that effect, where it was like it could minimize casualties. But instead what they chose to do is, because it was a nice sunny day, they went, oh look, we're going to drop Fat Man here on Hiroshima. And then they did it again, and it was like they didn't even get like the word like of surrender. Like they once the first one went off, people were like, "Oh shit, we gotta surrender. What's going on?" But because communications didn't travel as quickly as they do now, you know, they went, "Oh well, here comes little boy," or you know, and they dropped that one on Nagasaki. And it was like,
all I know is the official story is they dropped it on Hiroshima because they wanted to minimize casualties, and the Japanese still didn't surrender. So then they bombed Nagasaki. That's the official story.
Yeah, it was basically, it was exactly what Dave said. It's a
they
show
never
of force
lie
to the other nations. It was basically a dick measuring contest at the expense of the Japanese people. That's what it was.
I don't know, because like Occam's razor to me,
firebombed all of their wooden and rice paper houses. They firebombed the shit out of them so bad. Like I don't know.
My thing is, the fighting just to get to Okinawa was so fierce. Like the Japanese would have fought to the last child. Like they would have put a gun into a 10-year-old's hand. We would have had to like kill some. You know, we would have been.
The Japanese would have ran out of oil before.
No, not only that, they ran out of metal. They ran out. So like all, you know how they have the Divine Wind there, the kamikaze. Those aren't planes. They're recycling to put back into the field for the next fighter. Like they literally ran out of resources. They were fighting to the last man. And if they would have nuked freaking Mount Fuji, or they would have nuked something that was like a wilderness park or something, I guarantee you it would have had the same effect on the Japanese people. But like what
Mount
Dave was
Fuji
saying,
a volcano?
Yes, but
so if they had nuked it, they might have triggered an eruption. That's
what I'm trying to say is a point.
It's like, congratulations, you just made a bad problem even worse.
Somebody should write that comic book.
If they would have had just nuked a non-populated area as a show of force, which is what the whole point of that was, okay, they would have achieved the same results. But like what Dave was saying, it wasn't about Japan when they dropped the second one. It was about a show of force because
to
we
the
were
communists,
already
allegedly.
allied with the commies. Okay, that was a tenuous at best alliance. This was
I think in Warhammer
guaranteed
terms,
for
if
the
you
Cold
consider
War.
allies a convenience.
Yes, and it
Warhammer
was a
terms.
guaranteed, just like the Treaty of Versailles was a guaranteed prelude to World War II because they punished the Germans way too much for that. The alliance with the Ruskies was a huge freaking, it was a giant indicator that there would be another conflict and that nuke was designed as a deterrent and it didn't work. So all of those Japanese people died for no freaking reason.
I would argue it did work to a degree because the only thing that prevented us from starting World War III was the concept of mutually shared destruction.
Yep,
like
the Russians already had the hydrogen bomb, dude. Russians actually have better bombs than us.
and I think that's right.
Like, who do you guys think financed all that shit? You think that
exactly both sides of the war?
Like,
yeah, both
why
sides
is
of
the British bank known for smuggling linen into fucking Russia through Germany?
All right. I think we've gone way
happen?
too far into the weeds with this one. I'm cutting off this cutting down because like we're getting a little bit we're getting a little bit too conspiratorial. Like we can debate history, but once you start getting into conspiracy theories like this, it's like that's a whole entire.
It's not
stream.
a theory, but that's fine. But that's my point. Is all these narratives. Like I could give you links and all that stuff, and then you'd be like, oh, then you gotta like get rid of all those narratives that you've been.
Well,
given.
it was what George Carlin said. It was what George Carlin said. Our education system wasn't designed to make us smart. It was designed to make us so that we could work in factories. Like
Dave gets it.
Hey, Nix.
What's up?
But yeah.
Yeah, so
mercenary gets
let's
it.
change gears. I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. They know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not that much of a theory, dude. Come on, I'm not the only.
We beat around the bush, and they know exactly what it is.
This is not what I intended the stream to be.
We're talking about.
I wanted to talk about like stupid comics, and now we're talking about like banking and World War II, and like
you brought up Japan, dude. You brought up no. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's like comic books. Fucking egos and comic books. I'm all right with that.
So yeah, I do think people treat indie comics too much like a spectator sport, and not enough are focused on the actual comics.
Oh god, yeah.
Also, my sketchbook. Yes, this is all Comicsgate's fault.
That's all right. I've heard CG's dead.
Oh no, Takeda!
Yeah, Comicsgate is dead.
Nani?
I don't know. But like, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like, people have been saying like CG is dead for some time now. Just like people for the last 5 years saying China is 3 months from collapse. You see those YouTubers, you know.
Oh, Kathleen Kennedy's gonna get fired.
Or your favorite Doomcocker says Kathleen Kennedy's gonna get fired this week. I totally, I swear this time.
Stay angry, indeed.
Well, that's what it is. Is it's rage porn.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
I call it out in the intro to my show. I don't know, like I'm sure nobody watches it, but the intro to my show, I call those assholes out. You know, it's like all that is just rage porn. It's to keep you upset and mad instead of looking for solutions. They don't want to push solutions. They want to get rich together and they want to get paid by Disney. They're just third-party Disney shills, in my opinion. IMO.
It's like that one scene from like that one scene from X-Men where I think it's like Storm's talking to Sauron. Where it's like, Sauron, you have the ability to overwrite people's DNA. Why don't you cure cancer? It's like, I don't want to cure cancer. I just want to turn people into dinosaurs.
Yeah. I just want to milk my fucking pay pigs and keep them mad about all their nostalgia is being shit on.
Oh, thank you, Werner. But like, and this is kind of
Star Wars is dead. MCU.
I've had this conflict so many times where it's like, yeah, we all. And this is why I stepped away. This is why I want nothing to do with Phantom Menace. It's like, yeah, we all know Star Wars sucks. Like, okay, maybe they'll put like a remastered version of a game we love will come out and that's not sucks. Or like, okay, Andor was kind of good, but like, I have no interest in modern Star Wars.
Me neither.
And everyone knows that. We all like. It's beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
It's like,
dude, it's so bad. Like in my house, my 8-year-old son, who is perfect for Star Wars stuff, is only now getting associated with it, even though I have so many Star Wars shirts because my family thought I loved Star Wars, and like because I used to like Star Wars a lot, and I haven't watched a Star Wars show or movie in years, and so much so that my 8-year-old isn't familiar with Star Wars at all, and like it took his friend coming over with like some Star Wars Lego stuff to be like, hey Dad, get to bring up his interest in it. So then like we're watching Phantom Menace. We're watching the Clone Wars. We're watching the Clone Wars cartoon. We're playing I got Battlefront 1 and 2 remaster on the PS4.
Oh,
we're playing that.
They messed that up so bad. So
I love it. I love it.
The EU is where it's at. You say?
Is that the Heir of the Empire?
No. This was the first Star Wars
Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Yeah.
I had the original fucking printing of that. I wish I kept it.
Damn. Dude.
Oh, that's got it. So. By the way,
My dad
I
gave it
highly
to me.
recommend the Darth Bane trilogy. It is great. Like the Darth Bane trilogy is really great.
Yep.
I highly recommend that. I love it.
And was it Darth Plagueis book? I guess that's really good too.
I've heard stuff about that.
Legends or something. I don't know.
See, I wish I could still enjoy it.
Yeah, Dave, I agree.
The new stuff just retroactively killed any interest I have in that property.
Yeah. And I'll say like this is what all like the new media, like new independent media is about, is basically a bunch of pissed off people who saw their stuff get destroyed, and instead of falling into despair, they just create their own news sources. Like if you're pissed off with how Batman is being done, read Screecher. Or if, like, for example, I wrote a novel, basically my own version of Star Wars. Like, I'm sorry. If I don't like Star Wars, I'll build my own Star Wars with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah.
And so that's what Lost Kingdom is all about. And so have you ever seen some of the stuff that Xevious has been posting lately? Just kind of curious.
Yeah, those are some cool paintings.
That's for me. That's for me.
Oh.
It's going to be for my novel.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, you're doing a novel, huh?
Yes, sir. It's called
the Iron Age market. Is that what you're going for?
Yes, I will be. Yes, actually, like that will be part of the book stuff. The first draft has been done for a while. I actually wrote it during COVID.
Damn.
But I've got an author in mind. I got an editor in mind. I'm going to be crowdfunding it in August. And basically, so for those who like the book stuff, are you familiar with the hero's journey cycle?
Oh yeah,
sure.
Joseph.
So
Campbell.
imagine the hero's journey formula, but from the mentor's point of view. Okay. So basically, you're the Obi-Wan, and Luke is like an annoying brat that you have to drag around the galaxy, or in my case, the solar system. So this book takes place in the 4000s. Earth is like a wasteland, kind of like a Wall-E kind of thing. And so you have this thing called the Shinkar Kingdom. And so the king dies, and there's kind of usurper war. And so the night the capital falls, got a guy named Justin Lamont, who is the head of the royal guard. And so the capital falls, so he leaves. Like he actually flees, like, going against like his honor, his code, all that
coward.
Stuff. Yeah, exactly. And so he gets confronted by the queen, and she's like, "Do your job." And it's like, if you're gonna leave, at least take the crown prince with you, who is like a baby. He refuses even that. Flash forward 15 years later, and he's living in the Alpha Centauri system, which is like the closest star to us, 4 light years away. He's like a mercenary. He regrets it. Like he feels the pain, but he's replaced. Like basically, in order to cover up the grief, he uses anger to mask it. You know what I'm saying? Like how many times have we been like, we have grief? Exactly, I have too. And so it's like he's a freaking asshole. Like he is, kind of thing. And so he gets charged with escorting this young boy back into our solar system. A 15-year-old boy. Lo and behold, it's the same prince that he abandoned 15 years prior, and now he has to get him back into the Spartan, escort him back to the Spartan Alliance so that they can kind of like wage war against the bad government.
Yeah.
It's a bit, basically I wanted to do something that's familiar but different, but in the best way possible. So yeah,
sure.
It's got the hero's journey underpinning. It's got a lot of the same stuff, but like, I don't know. I really like it, and it's going to be really
different perspective. Sounds interesting. So that's cool.
Yeah,
Good for you. Go for it.
So basically,
how long How long is it roughly?
Right now, the first draft is about 84,000 words. 84,000 words.
Nice.
That's roughly about 300 pages.
See, that sounds fine. I don't have all day to read like some of these books, dude. I mean, it's easier for me to listen to audiobooks, but when I do have time, yeah, I can't sit through hundreds of pages, man. So a couple hundred, that's way easier. I could rip through that.
Yeah, and then this is designed to be a trilogy, and then I plan to go from there.
Good.
But yeah, this will be really nice. Like, I'm really excited. I've always wanted to be a novelist, and I never actually wrote a novel, but like it was kind of like during COVID. Like, I had some comics in the works, but it's like I had a lot of time on my hands, like lots of people. I actually got really disciplined. I was writing at my peak between 500 and 1,000 words a day.
Damn. Well, usable words or just words?
I was like
writing.
No, I didn't do Ben Shapiro writing. I did my own writing.
Damn.
Yeah. Gosh. You ever watch the Ben Shapiro? Who's that one guy? Fuck. I wish I could think of the name faster. He's like a.
Why would they name their kid fuck? I don't know.
Yeah. No, fuck. I shouldn't have brought it up. I can't think of the dude's name. Sam Hyde. Or no, not Sam Hyde. That's a funny guy.
Sam Hyde the troll. He's a troll.
Yeah. No, it was Sam. He's like a really smart dude, atheist. And anyways, he's like part of the dark web.
Dude,
they sat down together and they're like talking. It's like,
you should know who they are, because smart and atheist is not something that usually two words that go together.
I knew who you're talking about.
That guy just pissed off so many people.
I mean, I am not an atheist, so although I'm not a Christian, I cannot understand being an atheist, but I understand metaphysics.
Okay, I just want to say this. Like, if you're an atheist, that's fine. I don't care. But sure. The thing that I find a little funny / a little annoying is the militant atheist. It's like, or like, actually, no, the Satanists, I find it be a bit pathetic.
Oh, the guys that are rooting for the loser?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, first of all, Satanists are Christians, so
they're Christians. They're basically, whatever.
Yeah, they choose the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
No, why would you choose a religion that is defined in opposition to another? Like, I get atheists, their definition is we have no faith. Like, okay, fine, whatever. But Satanism, I do not understand.
In anything. They don't believe a higher power. There's no.
Well, that's what I find strange. Is like if you're an agnostic, I've been told those are just atheists without balls. But like the agnostic is.
Oh my god, that's the whole like centrist fence sitter. Like that's
the agnostic is I'll believe it when I see it. Until then, I'm not going to believe it.
The way that I've always understood
a more scientific approach.
That's fine. That's more understandable than just straight up.
Yeah. Then I have this. I have this authority to this worldly knowledge that there is indeed no such thing, and I have the proof that there is no such thing. That's what
right. See, the thing with religion is, even to this day, there is stuff that science cannot explain. Okay, like just for example. Go back to the beginning of the universe. The Big Bang is just still a theory. Okay.
Right. I'm
sorry. As soon as I said that, an image like 14 seasons of a very bad TV show came into my head.
The whole universe.
No. But like, if you try to ask him, like, what was before that? Where did the matter come from? Or how we sometimes have like miracles.
What made it
bang? God was having some fun that night.
Why would it bang?
Really bad guess.
And also, what could possibly have banged if there was nothing?
For example, Jesus actually existed. We know that to be a fact.
It's historical records.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the stuff described in the Bible actually happened. Like there's even evidence of a flood. Like the flood myth, actually, if you look at like different cultures, they actually have a flood myth, especially in that time period. The only thing is that it might not have been the entire world. It just might have been like that large region.
Just Gilgamesh, yeah. Just his little neighborhood.
And here's the thing is, I kind of believe that all religion is kind of just variations of the others. Because like for example, look at Nordic mythology. Odin, aka God, sent his only son to Earth, Thor.
Well, all right. So, I mean, you're kind of mixing stuff, but I like where your head's at. Let's not forget that a lot of the pagan belief systems came out of the Indo-European, original kind of mythology stuff, right? Like, although that's why so many of them seem similar. But yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, people aren't really taught any kind of metaphysics growing up. Instead, they're taught that it's just particles randomly slamming into each other. It creates reality somehow, and they don't know to look into anything more than that, or they scoff at anything. Like I'm still waiting for explanation for action at a distance. Like two things interacting at a distance with nothing connected.
Yeah. See, my
like
thing
that
is
can't be explained.
the
They
thing
use,
that
like dark matter. These made up terms, or was it quantum foam? Anyways, that's
you can't just put quantum in front of something and sound smart.
Well, they do. Oh, that's exactly what everybody likes to do. It's like, quantum this or quantum that. Okay.
The thing about religion that I don't get is you have the three Abrahamic religions: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Okay, and the thing is, like, Christians have this like subservient like belief like to Judaism, like they're so like and I just the thing I understand is
keep talking.
But Christianity is defined by Jesus, okay? And by the way, I'm doing a very surface level understanding, so please feel free to call me out on any bullshit.
I mean, it's kind of defined by the Jewish prophecy of a Messiah, and then they came out after Judaism was Hellenized. They came out with the Neoplatonic Christian beliefs, and they had their Christ figure, the embodiment of beauty on earth or whatever. So, I mean, good for them. I mean, I hope it helps their life and stuff. So I'm not going to shit on them.
Yeah,
I'm not in on it.
Yeah, so I'm just talking about like what I understand, and like so this is my chance to be taught.
Sure.
The Jews don't acknowledge Jesus, but like the Islam shows more respect to Jesus than Judaism does, because Jesus is viewed as a prophet in Islam culture.
Yeah.
Like,
whereas the Jews think he's boiling in a sea of shit or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, why is there like this like fear / hatred of Islam? And the thing is, it is extreme Islam more militant than the other stuff. Yes, but there's like millions and billions of good Muslims out there.
But at its core, it's like feminism, dude. At its core tenet, it is about conquest and violence. Like, so the reason why Christianity had a difference, though, was because you had this Jesus guy who's like, turn the other cheek, do unto others as you'd have others done to you. That's not in Islam. Islam is literally convert or die, motherfucker. Like, that's why people have a problem with that. Islam literally means submit. Like, when your religion literally says that, like, that's kind of, telling you what it's doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, so for the record, I identify as a Christian. I'm not like it's more of a casual kind of thing, but that's where my head lies.
Sure.
I don't know. I've met too many like good Muslims to like just demonize all of them, or whatever.
Right.
That's just my thing. And the same thing with like people are people. Like that's my thing. People are people. I don't care who you are.
If you bring a positive, energy to those around you, and you're not, you don't like hold, any kind of hatred that you're going to act out on others, then that's cool.
Like I know I have friends,
spaghetti monster or whatever. That's fine.
I have friends who are diehard. I have friends who are diehard liberals, and they know my position on things. We just don't talk about politics because we might get into a screaming match. But like, hey, I like you, you like you. We play games together. It's like,
yeah.
I wish more people would be like that. Like I don't care who you are. I don't care who you fuck. I don't care who you worship. If you're cool,
I
care.
I care if you're fucking kids. I care. I'm sorry, but I'm not that much of a liberal. Okay.
Okay. Let me clarify. I do not give a shit what 2 or more consenting adults do behind closed doors.
Okay, thank you for
that is a fair statement.
It matters now. That did not matter 10 years ago. It matters now.
How many teachers did you know going through grade school? How many teachers did you know were like hardcore like lesbos or like totally like the power bottom?
That
no, I never knew.
if you listen to those TikToks of some of these teachers, like, oh, I'm gay, so I have to bring it in my class. And no,
Yeah.
bitch, you don't.
Exactly. It's not.
I
It's not my
homeschool, so-
business.
Like, miss me with all that
okay,
shit.
okay, you have a picture of your wife, and okay, Mrs. Krabappel has a Mrs. Stein or whatever. Like, okay, like that is about as much as it goes, you know? Like, okay, some teachers have another wife, some teachers have another husband. Like, just enough for the kids to understand that part. Like, I get that. But beyond that, you don't like that is the limit.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly I go throughout my grade school and I'm like, yeah, I had plenty of lesbo teachers, dude. Like, they were nice to me. I was nice to them. I really liked them. But it was never my business. We never spoke about it, and it wasn't an issue. Now, like you're saying, they got rainbow flags in the classrooms, which I believe is kind of against the rules. And then they got like, yeah, let's talk to our kids that are under, like, I remember how much of a big deal it was when you turned like 13 or 14 in like 8th grade, and it was like, here's your you got to go sign this permission slip for your parents because we're gonna go watch Nova's The Miracle of Life in class, and then that was it. And it was like, okay, yeah, this is gross. And then that was the end of it.
The problem with the left is they take people's empathy. Like, I think it might be a fair statement to be like, okay, let's say you're a kid and you're exploring your sexuality and this kid is gay and they come to that decision on their own. Okay. That should be a safe environment. But the problem is they take that like semi-reasonable stance. I'm saying semi because some people, and they turn it into, okay, we're going to indoctrinate kids being gay and we're going to hide it from the kid, hide it from the parents. Like, they take like one reasonable thread and they pull it till it's like way too far out.
Yeah. Of course. They have to. Yeah. It's an ideological thing. But, at the same time, it's all by consent, right? Like, those parents consented to the state to raise their children while they're not there. You get what you asked for. You get the government you deserve. And I get what
you're saying, but
and I raised my children at home.
Not everyone has that ability, though. That's the problem. Is you're factually correct, but not everyone can homeschool. Not everyone.
I mean,
can
to what
afford.
standard do you want to live? And it's
Again.
like what's the price? I mean, I know I sound like
I'm not living.
This sounds like an asshole thing to say, but what is that price? What is that price?
It is an asshole thing to say because people can't afford the price.
Would you rather the state raise your child or live in a trailer somewhere? Like,
well, what if you're in a 2-bedroom apartment and you're both got 2 paychecks and you can't afford to homeschool?
Yeah, get out of there. Like, go somewhere where you can.
Okay, so you want your child to be homeless because one parent has to quit their job, become a homeschool.
I mean, that's a straw man, but sure.
No, not exactly.
No, just saying that from a financial perspective, like we are
not everywhere is the East Coast and West Coast where everything's super expensive. Like, I am proof of that.
And not everything.
A lot of money,
and not everyone can afford everything. That's like homeschooling. It's expensive.
I know everybody goes to, well, you can't afford it. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I don't know. I mean, if you think that you can afford your child,
that's right. You don't know. And to make that argument that like everyone can afford this is a straw man right there.
No, I did not say everybody could, but I did say that there is a price that you're willing to trade off. That is true, and you can't.
And I'm saying there is a price that people cannot afford to pay off. Like, for example, you say like live the life you want to live. Trust me, there's stuff that I wish I could do, but I literally can't afford to do it. You know, where money is
I'll tell you right now, like just from my perspective, my nephew was going through public schools, and I think it was 4th grade. He brings home a worksheet called the Gender Unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
My sister looks at me, and we had this long talk, and it's like, guess what? Your paycheck is now going to sending our your nephew to a private school because we are not going to send send this kid to a school where they're talking about gender unicorns to 8 and 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds. Like,
that's where school choice and school vouchers help out.
I really wish that we had wasn't that actually something Orange Man was trying to push?
Well, school choice is a thing that I think it's more of like it's up to the states. Like, I know Michigan has like school choice to where like you have to drive your kids to school a lot of the times, but like that's a lot easier thing to ask. Where it's like, okay, I have to like rearrange my schedule to drive my kid like in a half an hour to a better school than it is to like homeschool themselves. Like, that is a more reasonable proposition than just like literally change
Why?
your entire life.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, okay, you cannot. Most households have to have 2 incomes. Okay, so you're basically asking one parent to quit their job and homeschool their kid. Also, that parent might not be qualified enough to teach their kid. Yes, there are homeschool resources. Like, I've known people who have been homeschooled.
Yeah,
There are
qualifications
resources.
isn't a thing. It's not a thing.
What is it?
Yeah, I disagree.
Qualifications, it's not a real consideration. Like, all it really takes is wanting to teach your child and to be active
I
in their
disagree.
education. I'm sure you do, because you haven't done it. But like, there's plenty of curriculum, there's plenty of courses.
Yeah,
all
do
kinds
you
of
get
things
like a
you can do.
packet? Like, is there like a state packet or something they give you with like, here's like what your
Well, like for
curriculum
us,
should be?
I live in Illinois, who has
Mhm.
surprisingly very few rules on homeschooling. Thankfully, like they don't check up on you constantly, and they don't try to dictate what you teach or anything like that. So that's really good. But my girlfriend, she actually pulls from different systems that are comfortable for her to go through with the kids. Yeah, so like it's not really just, oh, we bought this and then this is gonna teach everything, or it's not like that at all. So
Did you guys
And
ever
that's
use
great.
phonics?
That's great.
Yeah. Did you guys
And
ever teach
that's great.
phonics?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Did you ever try to teach phonics?
Phonics, yeah, sure, like reading and shit, of course.
Yeah, do you know that's actually removed from public schools now?
Yeah, and actually,
That blew my mind.
we kind of went back. Me and my woman went back and forth because I was raised with Hooked on Phonics.
Same here.
Hooked on Phonics worked for me, and my kids are more taught with sight words kind of stuff. So like spelling isn't as easy. Like we have to sit and kind of work through spelling and stuff on words and whatnot. So, but I find Hooked on Phonics to be a superior method. But
And these are great things, and I'm always up for other options. The thing we need to remember is, for one, there's no one size fits all solution for everybody. And it sounds like the homeschooling is working out for real children, and I'm very happy for that. But for some people, it's either not an option or it just plain out doesn't work. But I do think everyone. Well, sometimes people can't pay the price, so I thank everyone for coming on.
I agree.
Remember, I can only show you the door. You're the ones to walk through it.